Well, ahead of the WHL finals this week on TSN, I'm so thrilled to be joined by Medicine Hat Tigers forward Gavin McKenna. Gavin, great to see you. Listen, this is wild. 53-game point streak. This is the longest single season streak this century of any Canadian Hockey League player. My question for you is, at what point, Gavin, did you even realize this streak was happening?
Yeah, I think it started around like 18 games and it got pretty serious there. And, I think going into games is kind of in the back of my mind. And honestly, once I got past 30, though, I kind of stopped thinking about it and just playing. And I think that's when I started playing my best hockey.
So now that it continues on to 53, you're not thinking about it on a game-to-game basis or anything like that?
No, not anymore.
So, Gavin, there's not a long history of NHL players from the Yukon. We went to Hockey Reference, our crack research staff. We found 3 players total, including Dylan Cozens, who is the first ever first-rounder from the Yukon. How important is it to you, as someone who grew up in Whitehorse, to represent the Yukon territory, and then as someone who's Indigenous, to represent the Indigenous community? It's a lot of pressure to represent a couple of communities like that. How important is that to you?
Yeah, it means everything. Every time I go home, the support I get, and I'll do little hockey camps with the kids growing up, and to see the smile on their faces when they see me and stuff, and have them ask for pictures, it's pretty special. And the community supported me so much growing up, from sponsors and texts, and just my family tells me about all the the people they meet. They always come up to them and congratulate them. So, it means a lot for me. And if I can be the 4th to make the NHL, that'd be pretty special.
This year's NHL Draft lottery is set for Monday night. Are you thinking at all about that moment for yourself a year from now?
For sure. It's been something I've been working towards my whole life, and it's for sure been in the back of my mind. But I have quite a few buddies who are, potentially going to get drafted here and go pretty high. So to see those guys, live their dream, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Not many CHL players have been hyped the way you have, but one that comes to mind is one of your cousins, Connor Badard, who was in this position just a couple of years ago. Have you been able to lean on him a little bit, at least, for advice about how to handle the kind of pressure that goes into being a highly touted prospect?
Yeah, for sure. We've gone through some similar things, and we don't text too much, but I've texted him a few times asking for some advice, and he's always a guy who's willing to give that advice, and he's helped me quite a bit, and he's obviously handled it really well. So if I can ask him as much stuff as I can, it's good to have him as a resource.
So I asked our director of scouting here at TSN, Craig Button, I asked him about you a couple of weeks ago, and I said, what player would you compare Gavin to? And he said Nikita Kucherov. So I'm wondering what you think of that comparison, and if you yourself try to model your own game after anyone currently in the league or maybe out of the league now.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a pretty cool comparison. He's obviously had a lot of success in his career, and he's an unbelievable player, so I'll take that. But I think growing up, the guy, like I said, was Patrick Kane. He was my favorite player growing up. I watched him and the Blackhawks and the dynasty they went on, and the success he had. So I always tried to work on my hands. I'd go in the backyard rink and stick handle through pucks just like he did, and he was always the guy I looked up to.
Gavin, you scored what many here at TSN believe was a goal of the year candidate just a few weeks ago against the Prince Albert Raiders. I want to play this video now and just have you walk us through this goal and tell us how exactly you pulled it off, because I still can't figure it out. Tell us what you did here, Gavin. This is wild.
Yeah. Well, I kind of just saw that I had a little one-on-one against the guy on the shorthanded there, and didn't really have a whole lot, so kind of threw behind my back, hoping that he would kind of eat the bait, I guess, and he fell for it, and thought I'd spin him the other way, and it worked, and I had some space to shoot, and lucky enough, their guy was kind of screening their goalie, so I had kind of the whole right side to shoot at, and just picked my spot, and it was a pretty big goal for us.
What kind of feedback did you get after you scored it?
I don't know. Guys were just asking how I did that and what I was thinking, and I had quite a few people text me and just comment on it, and it was pretty cool. Like, I've never had that much attention for just a goal. It was pretty cool.
And then the next game you pulled off of Michigan. What goes through your mind when you get ready to attempt a Michigan? Is it like there's a razor thin amount of time that you can pull it off, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've tried to put in a couple Michigans. I've attempted a few, and this one I just saw the whole pretty much backside there, and I had some room to skate and picked it up. And once it was up, that's half the battle. And then saw there's a little corner by his shoulder there, and once I hit my stick against the post and saw the puck go in, it was probably one of the most satisfying things I've ever felt.
Well, listen, this has been awesome chatting with you, man. And the WHL final, of course, between your Medicine Hat Tigers and the Spokane Chiefs gets underway on TSN this Friday night. So best of luck. We can't wait to watch you. And thanks for joining us, Gavin. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.